Okay, guys, round two. Nissa, are you there? I am so excited for this live and learn. Okay, let's see. I'll invite her. There we go. Invite sent. Let's see if that gets her on here. Oops. Come on. There we go. Oops. My fingers are too big, you guys. There she is. All right. Profile pic. Hello. It's adding her. Gives me time to get a sip of coffee. There she is.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you? Sorry, I'm using this fancy ring light thing, so I'm trying to adjust it. There we go.
I
All
have
right.
one too. I have the one that clips on my phone and it makes like a huge difference. I absolutely love it.
Ah, okay.
Well, hello there, gorgeous. I love your profile pic.
Oh, thank you.
You look so healthy and happy and awesome in it.
I feel happy, healthy, and awesome. And
Well, let's get right into it. Tell me a little bit about that. Tell me about when diet became your passion and why.
so I started at a really young age because I was heavier than all the other girls. So I started looking into dieting and trying to lose weight probably around age 12. And so I started looking for any article I could find, any book I can find to help take the weight off. And for more than 25 years, I always, read the latest, looked at the new articles, the new books. Unfortunately, I had bad health and my weight yo-yoed a lot because it was all the same information that most people have. And unfortunately, it's the wrong information for most people.
Right.
Um, so I kept up with everything. I was eating less calories, like they said, monitoring my calories. I was working out more and trying to burn calories, trying to have intense workouts. And this was just leading to stress. And maybe I did lose weight, but it was always temporary.
Mm-hmm.
So while I've always been passionate and I've always tried to help others, my real passion didn't come through until after I had my first son. And I found a book that actually taught me the truth and taught me not only how to improve my health and lose weight for good, but also to sustain that long term.
Awesome. So, we don't think about what something that you said really stuck out to me, and we don't think about this very much, but how the actual so stress is bad, and how the actual stress from oh my god I got to diet, or oh my god I got to eat this, or oh my god I got to exercise for this long on this day or these days, whatever it is, that can actually have worse effect on your health than all the good stuff that you're trying to do.
Yeah, not only the stress like that, I definitely agree, but also the stress on your body from trying to follow these techniques where you're lowering your calories so low, or you're
Mm.
stressing about your macros, or even like exercise is a stress on your body. And if you're exercising the wrong way and overdoing it, you're actually doing the opposite of what you want, and you're going to cause inflammation and weight gain and a lot of health problems.
Inflammation, big, big, big buzzword there for me. So tell me
Yeah.
a little bit. I think this is probably a good segue into that. Tell me a little bit about the physical ailments that you experienced and kind of, I know that you've been on this journey since you were young, but what physical ailments did you experience that you were able to eliminate with your lifestyle changes?
So it's a long list, so keep your coffee handy. So like I said, my health was a mess and it had been for more than 25 years because I was trying out these low calorie diets or a lot of processed food that claimed to be healthy. So I started getting daily headaches, like literally every single day around age 15. And that continued for more than 20 years. Sometimes they were just headaches. Sometimes they were migraines that were so bad that I would go to the ER because I thought I was having a brain aneurysm.
Wow.
So that definitely was never pleasant. I also experienced a lot of anxiety and depression from a very young age. I always had sinus infections, probably 3, 4 months out of the year. I was just sick in bed, hard to get out of bed and green mucus coming out, gross things like that.
Uh,
Um, I had cystic acne from a young age, probably starting in my early teens, all the way up through my mid 30s. I tried every over-the-counter medication that you could think of. I tried prescription medications. I even went on Accutane twice, which is like the Mac Daddy of all acne solutions, and nothing would help cure my acne. I had chronic heartburn starting at, I remember getting heartburn at like age 10, and it just got worse throughout the years. I was on different reflux medications, but it just seemed to keep getting worse, especially after both my pregnancies. We all know how bad heartburn can get, so
Yeah.
it magnified. I had a lot of nausea, especially when I was trying to eat low carb. After my first pregnancy, even if I tried to eat something like steak, I would get so nauseous and sick. I had constipation, and I didn't even know that I had constipation because for years I pooped maybe like once a week, and that's just when I pooped. So I thought that was normal. Like I had,
Wow.
yeah, pooping once a week, it's not normal.
Oh my,
Um,
yeah.
so then I also had insomnia, which I know a lot of moms have insomnia, especially with babies, keeping them up. And so I experienced like I would intend on 8 hours of sleep, but it would take me like 2 to 3 hours just to fall asleep. And if something did wake me up in the middle of the night, it would take me another 1 or 2 hours to fall back asleep, which obviously with babies is really hard because they're always waking you up. So my whole first year after I had my first son, I didn't sleep.
Mm.
Um, I also had hypoglycemia, and I was always craving junk foods. No matter how hard I tried to diet, the junk food cravings were just always there. And I think that the biggest health element that cleared up is so with my first pregnancy, I had gestational diabetes, and I went to see doctors and nutritionists, and they advised me to eat low fat and also a lot of processed foods. And so, following their advice, I actually ended up having to take insulin, which is not preferred while you're pregnant. And they told me after I had the baby that if I didn't follow this low calorie, low fat diet that they recommended, that I would become diabetic within the next 10 years. And actually, I kept monitoring my blood sugar levels to see where they were. And in the next 6 months, they stayed high. So I was already diabetic following their advice within 6 months.
Wow.
So I think that sums it up. There's more, but
Wow. Wow. So the changes that you made, what immediate results did you see? Anything, or was it more of like gradual changes?
so at first, like the first 6 months after my first pregnancy, I struggled hardcore to take any of the weight off. I was, more than 100 pounds over my healthy weight range. And everything I tried, all my tried and true methods, like low calories, whatever, working out more, I just kept recycling the same 3 to 5 pounds. I would gain it, I would lose it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the first thing that I noticed was after I started doing the right diet for my body, which was a high fat, lower carb diet, while also working to improve my digestion, was weight loss. It finally started coming off, and it started, it actually stayed off instead of coming back on. So that's definitely the first thing I noticed. But then, like 3 to 4 months after I started my routine, like I said, I was still testing my fasting blood sugars, and those actually went from diabetic ranges, so daily around 130 to 140, which is the beginning of diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
down into a normal range of like 90 to 95, which doctors out there will tell you can't happen unless you're medicated. I wasn't medicated. I just followed diet and an easy workout routine, and they came down into normal ranges, which is amazing because I don't want type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, that's awful. So also after a few months of following the plan, this is where the gradual part comes in. I noticed that I hadn't had a migraine in like 4 or 5 months, which when you
Wow.
get migraines like once or twice a week, that's pretty epic to not get them like that. I
Yeah,
noticed even
we for sure, not to interrupt you, but we have tons of moms that suffer from that I know very well. And they suffer on a daily basis. So that's
yeah,
really debilitating.
it really comes down to diet change. I mean, I suffered for 20 years from it, and they would not let up until I improved my digestion and changed my diet. So that, I mean, medications, they might cover up the symptoms, but you're not really going to fix the problem unless you change the way you eat permanently. Um, So that's that. And then I started noticing everything that I dealt with for more than 20 years, depression, anxiety. Like one day I woke up and it just wasn't there anymore, which is amazing.
Absolutely. So talk to me about those changes. Give us some examples. Like, what is your current routine? So where did you come from, and what does it look like now?
So before I followed all the major diet plans, I tried like Weight Watchers on and off and Jenny Craig, calorie counting with phone apps. I've tried it all, and that was just leading to me getting sicker and sicker because when you're not taking in enough food, especially enough nutrients, because I was eating a lot of processed food that people say are healthy, like
Right.
those nutrition bars, they're just full of junk that are going to keep you unhealthy. So once I started eating real food and I taught my body how to process that real food, everything started going away. So the anxiety, the depression, a lot of that comes in if you have low blood pressure. I know
Mm-hmm.
a lot of doctors say that you only need to worry about high blood pressure, but if you have low blood pressure, that means your food's not being broken down and you're not absorbing it. And it's actually going to be stored as fat. So you're not taking in all of the nutrients that you're eating, and it's being stored as fat or it's being expelled from your body without you being able to process it. Um, so as far as like where I came from I always yo-yoed. I always yo-yoed between the same 20 to 50 pounds throughout my life. When I was pregnant, after I had my first son, I was 245 pounds, which is by far the highest weight I'd ever been. And so after my first pregnancy, I implemented a lot of changes and I lost about 90 pounds within like a year and a half after having him. I did gain some back for my second pregnancy. I gained about 60 pounds back with the big baby. He was over 10 pounds. So the good news is the second pregnancy, I'm older. So my second pregnancy, I think I was 36 when I had him. And I had gestational diabetes the first time around. And so doctor said, that's it. You're going to have gestational diabetes because you're older and you have a history of it.
Mm-hmm.
The second time around, I didn't have it.
Right.
And the reason that I didn't have it is not because I followed their low fat, low calorie advice. It's because I did my own research and I followed the research that I found. So as far as how much weight I lost about 90 pounds after my first pregnancy and another 65 after my second, so around 155 pounds combined.
Yay,
Um,
you.
thank you. And from top to bottom, I was 245 and now I average around 135. So it's still 110 pounds that I lost and I keep off for good.
Nice. Well, congratulations. That's amazing. So everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
How, like you discovered, um, whoops, she went bye-bye. Come back. Sometimes when we get a phone call, it kicks us off. So just come right back to it if you can hear me. Oh, there she is. Okay, let's see if I can add you back on here. Yep. Adding you back. Facebook has to like shut off phone calls and all of that when you're live. They should know you're live. And here she comes.
Hi.
Did you get a phone call?
No.
Oh, sometimes when my guests get phone calls, they just go bye-bye.
Oh, no.
It
It's
happens.
internet connection or something. I don't know.
Funny, it happens. So anyway, back to the question. So everybody's bodies are different, right? Would you agree?
Yeah.
How does somebody kind of go along this road that you went, and how do I know it's right for me, basically?
So the book that I talked about that I found that, really helped me for good, the information I found is called Kick Your Fat in the Nuts. And it's actually a health book that was written by a comedian because he had his own health problems and he spent years trying to figure it out. So he just decided to write his own health book after all the research. And basically, the book's mantra is there's no one right diet for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is going to succeed on the diet that's right for their body. But in the book, he teaches you one of the biggest problems with losing weight is you're not able to digest food. And by that, I mean like fats and proteins. And a big reason is that we've spent so many years in low-calorie diets, and you're not eating fat like you should. You're not eating the protein that you should. You're focusing on these easy-to-process carbs. And basically, your body kind of forgets how to digest it. He teaches you how to improve your digestion in order to be able to process these foods. Um, and the book is lower carb, higher fat, which isn't right for everyone. For me, when I first started, it wasn't right for me because when I was this way, I was getting nauseous or I was having constipation. And these are signs that what you're eating isn't optimal for you. But with 50% of Americans being insulin resistant, not everyone gets a diagnosis, but more than 50% of Americans are insulin resistant, which means they're not processing carbs. So, or they're not processing their fat and their protein well, and their body is burning through their carbs. And that means a lower carb, higher fat plan would work for them. So he teaches you in the book how to make it work for you. So you start off slowly and then you transition into it with the steps that he has laid out in the book.
Awesome. I think our internet connection's a little weird. I don't know if you can hear me okay. And I didn't mean to cut you
Yeah,
off
I can
right
hear you.
there. If I did, I just lost you.
Nope, I was done.
So,
I can hear you.
okay, perfect. So fast forward to you being here and now. You guide people through this process, or tell me a little bit about any particular resources you're super passionate about or that you provide yourself.
Yeah, so I started doing health coaching about a year ago, and just because I wanted to teach people the methods that I use. And it does get a little overwhelming because I'm taking care of two small kids. My kids are 5 and 2. So I actually put together a coaching course. And the coaching course is a 6-week email course where you are emailed videos every week and daily emails to teach you all of the steps that I took. Because I know a lot of people out there see me as the keto girl, and keto is what it takes to lose weight. And it's so much more than just keto. I mean, keto was a big part of it, but I actually didn't even know what keto was for the first 90 pounds that I lost. So there's a lot more to it than just eating keto. And so that's what the 6-week coaching course that I have is how I help reach other people in a bigger, on a bigger basis than just being able to do one-on-one coaching.
Awesome. So how can our members find you?
So I am on all of the social media, well, not all of them. I'm on Facebook and Instagram that Eating Fat is the New Skinny. I also have a Facebook support group, Eating Fat is the New Skinny support group, where I try to help people learn how to live their own low carb, high fat lifestyle. And my website, of course, is eatingfatisthenewskinny.com. If people are more interested about learning about my story, I actually have 2 books on Amazon, My Big Fat Life Transformation and The Lazy Keto Gourmet. So both of these books are filled with my story and also
Awesome.
tips on people can learn how to live this lifestyle for themselves.
Awesome. Well, I loved having you today, Nissa, and our connection's kind of bad, so I'm gonna let you run now, but can you do me a favor throughout the day? Answer any questions that pop up on folks. It's gonna probably get bumped on the replays. So I'm sure people will have questions for you. If you can return to the post and answer those. And then can you comment below on this post your information again, like your Facebook page and your website and all that?
Yeah, I also wanted to just add one more thing. So for those people who are interested in keto, I'm actually starting a keto challenge this weekend. And this time around, I'm going to teach people how to eat keto the right way and hopefully compete for a prize of $500. So
Whoa.
I'll add that information. Yeah. Yeah, so you could win $500 just learn how to make this your lifestyle. So I'll add all that information in the comments too.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, that's amazing. Please definitely tag that so that our mamas can join it. Well, you look beautiful, and congratulations again to all of your successes. It was a pleasure having you today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye, Nissa.